Hi guys, today we are going to do something that I usually, in the last few years I have not been doing that much, which is reviews. Usually I make reviews on Goodreads or Storylace, for example, but not talking. But now I wanted to try again. I've read this past month of May a couple of horror novels. These four here, as you can see here. Okay, those four books are very different. I've read a couple of more, like No Longer Human by Junji Ito, and I'm finishing Song Song by Robert McCammon. But those are different subjects. This one, Junji Ito, I have to say that this book is amazing. This is a manga stuff, and it was amazing to read all together from the beginning to the end. It was the life of Osamu Tasai, which killed himself after making this book, No Longer Human, and it's a story of a man falling in grace from the beginning of his life, depravity, alcoholism, drugs, politics, and so on. It's just a fall of a person on life, and it is amazing because, first of all, it's with art of Junji Ito, which is probably one of the best manga artists out there, making horror stuff, and my favorite. I've read everything that he published, everything, and it was a lot, like 20 manga stuff like this one, so a couple of them are very big. Amazing. Altogether I will rate it like a 90 out of 100. The ending, I didn't enjoy a bit of the ending because I could not understand altogether the story, how it ended, but overall I was very, very impressed. And then we got these four novels here. This one, The Resort, written by Bryce Gibson. It's a short story. It's for 173 pages. It says a thriller, but it's a mix of a thriller and horror. Imagine that if you are reading a R.L. Stine novel, this is it. But for not towards young children like 11, 12, 13, but to 17, 18. It's like the first book you should read as an adult, that you transition from the young teen to the teen horror. Imagined. It's a story about a boy who lives in an island, and the island is plagued by some vines, some plants that are doing some strange stuff. But then there is a part of sci-fi. There is but there is some romance stuff there as well. Overall, it was okay novel, not that it was not great. I hoped for more, to be honest, because I really hope that this is the first, not the first, but the third in the series that this guy wrote, and I hope I could buy more from him, but I didn't enjoy that much, and I will not buy them all at all. I gave it a 38 out of 100, because it was very, very poor written. It was not for me. Okay, I'm not saying it's not a bad book. It's a bad book. Probably, again, it's like a R.L. Stine novel. If you are someone that likes to read that stuff, this book will appeal to you. But I to be honest, I didn't enjoy. Then let me talk about On the Third Day, which, first of all, I've rated this a 40 out of 100. It's a story about, it's very big, it's 600 pages. It's a story about a plague that is, ravaging the lands and killing people. They get this plague that make people sad and depressed, and after 3 days they die. First of all, they never tell you what is causing this. That's not the main focus here, although as you read the novel you wanted to know because that's part of the novel, but the writer never tells you what it is, or he gives you some hints. Can be something like Mother Earth killing people to balance the earth. It could be some kind of the divinital stuff made by gods and so on, but it's never really explained what it is. And to me that part was I hope for more. Okay. Then this book hints of zombies a bit. That's why I read the book. I wanted some kind of zombie kind of stuff because I'm in a mood that I'm not reading that much. So when I'm in that mood, I like to read stuff that I really enjoy, like horror, zombies, and so on. Some brainless stuff. Yeah. If I bought the pun. And it didn't have anything like that. It has some people that become a little mad. So not all people die on the third day. Some become a bit mad and like a berserk kind of stuff. They want to kill and so on. The story itself is more like a slice of life. Slice of life on how to survive the ending of days, and it's about the family. We follow a family. Problems and so on, get introduced to other people, and all of those parts are okay, are good, but to be honest, I hope for more. It's slow paced at times, very slow paced. It has that it doesn't have any chapters. It have only this kind of stuff here, and so every couple of pages, but there is no chapters. It makes you read one more page and so on, but I hope that this book were 200 pages less. Not all of these are important. Then there are some stuff that I really didn't enjoy. Why does the main protagonist mother is always called something mother, never by her name? Probably there is a reason behind. I didn't understand. In terms of other novels, and this is, sorry, I'm going to just put the mobile here because I don't know what is happening. Sorry. Okay. So, this is what you get. I'm not going to edit all of this out, of course, because that's not me, but sorry. So, what more can I say about this novel? That was the main reason I didn't enjoy the novel, and because I hope for something more, okay, and I didn't get it, so that's why I didn't rate it that high. I hope for more or stuff, and yeah, that's not what I got. Then I read Clown in the Cornfield by Adam Cesar. This is the first book on a trilogy. It's a story about like a normal horror stuff where you get a monster, or kind of like a monster, and there is a protagonist, a young teens. They are trying to save themselves and so on. So what this story is about? So a young girl goes to a new town. This town is has a lot of teens like her, like 17, 16 and so on, and they are troublemakers. They are basic troublemakers. There are some. You get the feeling that the writer is a young person because you know that he has some knowledge on some stuff young people today talk, the applications they use like Twitter and so on, and there is an ongoing, and you get the feeling that this is a book that it's not only about a slasher movie, it's a slasher book. It's about old people versus new people. So young people think they are smarter than the old. Old think that the young should revere the old people, and so on. And then there are some situations here. There are some situations here that I didn't enjoy how the author went. So what you get from today's people, like 20, 30 years old, writing stuff, they are, to me, they have to include politics, and that's, to me, it's I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy reading about politics in a horror book. I'm reading a horror book because I want to read scary stuff. I want to read something that make me uncomfortable. I don't want to read about left versus right. And this book could have been so much better if that part wasn't there. So, and I'm going to be talking about spoiler, and while I'm holding this book in my hand, it's going to be spoiler stuff. Basically, the old people, the guys like me, 50 years old and so on, I'm 40, but 50, and so on, they are sick of the children, of the way teens live their lives, how they behave. They are always getting problems and so on. And so they conjure a situation where they are going to kill them all. So, but here it's okay. Okay, it's old versus new. I can't understand this. Okay, the problem is that it hints some. The writer in some stuff like old people right wing and good people left wing. That's this author is mainly left wing. I can assure you that, and it's not because it has a gay character. It has nothing to do with that. It's about you are wrong, I am right. It doesn't even gives a way for you to think, okay, you have these two views, which is wrong, which is right. No, the author says and talks about this. It's left is good, right is wrong. Left is progress, right is old stuff, retrocess or something like that. Left is good because includes, right is bad because excludes, and so on. And this is, to me, absurd. You could do politics, you could talk about some issues, but never really, I'm this character here, I'm writing, but I'm this character here, and this is my point of view, and if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. So, and this is what it happens, and everything else is this book. It really, I really didn't enjoy that part. I don't like preachy novels. I won't be continuing this series. Although I did enjoy the story itself, I will not continue because of this politics. I don't give a crap about your ideology. It doesn't mean anything to me. But okay, good for you. Adam Cesare is a very. Many people talk about him in the booktube. So yeah, good for you. Finally, we've got Naomi's Room by Jonathan Aycliffe. If you ask me what are my favorite horror writers, I would say Tim Curran and Brian Keane and Bentley Little. But I would have to include Jonathan Aycliffe as well. Jonathan Aycliffe is a writer, a horror writer. He also writes thrillers under his real name. This is the pen name, vice versa. I don't know. And he basically he writes our gothic way. Okay, not our pure like slash and so on. It's a pure gothic stuff. Basically, you have this man that is telling all of his novels are in the first person perspective, typical gothic stuff. Then there is some stuff that I will not talk about this. I cannot talk about this. Writing this stuff. This is something that feels very gothic, very eerie, but never really. Ta-da! This is the horror, spooky. It's something it's very interesting how he writes this. He writes this as a in a Gothic perspective in the 1970s, 80s. This story is set in the 1980s or something like that. And he's old now. He's 50 years old, and he's telling the tale that happened 20 years ago when his daughter went missing and died. Afterwards, some stuff happens, like some horror, like sounds in the attic, sounds he behaving a bit different because of something that happened in that house. His wife is a bit confused, and you get the feeling, where is his wife? Because in 20 years ago, his wife was there. She didn't kill herself, so this story is told 20 years afterwards, but it never mentions her. So what did happen there in the tale? And all of this tale is unfold page by page, like a memoir. And one of the most interesting parts was the ending, that made me, okay, I didn't expect that, but also made me think, okay, I didn't understand why. I think I know the reason why, but it was very, okay, maybe, and connect the dots and the reason. But it's very or eerie. So it's a ghost story, okay? Don't expect slasher stuff. There are some more dramatic scenes, but never expect that much. I really, really enjoy this. This author is one of my favorites. I've read almost all of his novels. I believe I have not read one novel that he wrote. He wrote like 7 novels, horror novels, not thrillers. Thrillers are another stuff. And I've read all of them except one. And I think I rated all of them either 3, 4, or 5 stars. This is a solid. I would rate it like 85 out of 100. I think it needed a bit more in the end, explaining a bit more on why, and it left a bit, okay, now what? And you want to get a sequel, so there is no sequel, there is no need for a sequel, but it get me that I could have hoped for a bit more in the end. Overall, really enjoyed. I think that this author is very, 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 very good. If you want a gothic horror stuff, but not written in the old stuff, in the old English, a bit boring stuff. I'm sorry, but that's why that's my thoughts on gothic stuff, the wording stuff. But this one is not boring. First, it's short, it's 200 pages, and he's always advancing the plot, but maintaining that eerie feeling right until the last 20 pages. Yeah, that's it. 20-minute movie. I will try to make more reviews as I read the books, because I tend to read more old stuff that usually book people don't make that much videos. I'm going to start making more reviews and shorter ones, not like this one. This one was only for try and to show you the difference between all this kind of horror stuff that we have here. They are all different. They are all horror. They are all different. One is more slasher. One is more eerie. One is more let's go, and that's interesting to see that horror is not just one branch of fiction and that's it. No, there is so much horror out there that is very good. You've got splatterpunk. You've got that's one of my favorites. There is some very grim stuff or stuff, and usually the booktube community is more on sci-fi and fantasy, or there are some people out there, but they are not as much known as the other stuff. So that's why, and I think, as I said, I tend to read more older stuff, not newer. So that's why I think that this will probably be helpful to someone, um, to watch and to give my insight on books. I'm not the most eloquent person, but I hope I convey um, a good information about the novels. Thank you all.